Okay, we're going to go through some of the basic hip tests now for the hip joint. Some of these tests are part of the scan, but general range of motion first, up into full flexion with some overpressure and resistance. And relax. Into adduction, overpressure, a little bit of resistance. And then coming out into abduction, overpressure, little bit of resistance. And then the rotations, firstly external rotation, getting right to that end feel, a little bit of resistance. And then internal rotation. End feel, little bit of resistance. So I've got a functional test known as the Faber test. We'll flex the patient's hip up, then externally rotate and rest the heel just above the patella region. And then we just let the lower extremity come out into further abduction and find out where that end feel is. Now we hope that the patient actually gets out into almost full abduction so that the knee is almost flat. Anything shorter than that and we know we've got a problem somewhere in the hip and or the SI joint. Patrick's test is the flexion equivalent of that. We'll come up into flexion and abduction and external rotation, end range to get the opposite quadrant. The labral test. And then we can do labral tests. So we'll come up into full flexion, full external rotation, and then sort of like the McMurray's test, we'll come down internal rotation, down into abduction and extension. And then from the same position, we'll come out into adduction with internal rotation to check for the posterior portion of the labrum. That simply allows us to get through a full range of motion with the ball of the hip joint through the socket, and a positive sign in that case would be a reproduction of the click. I haven't seen many positives with that test. Generally, flexion and external rotation will allow you to get that clicking that you need, or internal rotation. Or the hip scour / the quadrant will also pick that up.